deep in Magny-Cours on the grid as well to take the victory in the wet conditions. His qualifying just hasn't been the best, has it, for Joel? But his race performances have promised much. So, almost time to go then. 51, Brian Uriarte starts on pole position. He's got Jesus Rios and Rico Salmela for company on the front row. All three race winners in the class. Leonardo Zani starts from 4th. He's looking to make that all-important breakthrough on the podium, perhaps even go a little bit better and take a victory here. Casey O'Gorman and Marco Morelli also searching for their maiden victories in Junior GP. So, it is go time, eyes on the lights, and the revs are rising here at Motorland Aragon, and we are racing in the first race of the day here in the Junior GP World Championship, and Brian Uriarte has gotten the start he wanted, as has Jesus Rios and Rico Salmela. It's 1, 2, 3, and Rios is about to fire it up the inside of Uriarte, and now the young Spaniard leads the championship leader. Rios over Uriarte with Salmela in 3rd.
Yeah, that was an absolutely sensational start from Jesus Rios. You could see him just pulling off the line incredibly quickly there, and it's Uriarte who's now back in the lead, so something's clearly happened there, but this is looking already like it's going to be a classic, and that the riders are looking to take the battle to Uriarte, which is exactly, as neutrals, what we wanted.
Yeah, Jesus Rios running it wide, I think, there around turn 3. Not sure what happened exactly, but it handed the lead back to Uriarte. Salmela into 2nd, and a great start for Hakim Danish, who's up 3rd position from the 3rd row.
Yeah, absolutely sensational from Danish, who is a rider who's been showing us exactly what he's capable of across various classes, across various championships, and he's displaying exactly why he's one of the names that's touted for a future in the Moto3 World Championship very soon.
Yeah, downhill then through the reverse corkscrew we've already come. Now kink left on 11 before the heartbreaking turn 12. Uriarte over Salmela and Danish. This is going to be a crucial final section, you would imagine, as the race progresses. The long run, they get to open up the throttle here before, a little bit heartbreaking at turn 14, flick it left at 15, and then the long run towards turn 16 with the long looping left-hander ahead of the finish line. So slipstream will certainly play a role here, and with such a long back straight leading on to the front straight, you would imagine there'd be plenty of chopping and changing here. But Uriarte over Salmela and Danish. Casey O'Gorman has slotted into 4th position, and Veda Pratama riding in 5th position. Jesus Rios hasn't quite recovered from that early mistake. The number 54 still riding in 6th position. We mentioned Joel Esteban before. He started in P11. He's up to P7 by the close of the opening lap.
Yeah, and further back, David Gonzalez started from P28 after that penalty, now up to 19th. So that's a fantastic ride a bit further back. We'll see what he's capable of as this race goes on. He's still 12 laps to try and get into the points.
A bit of a gap opening up then between the top two, as we have seen in races gone by. It's Uriarte against Salmela out the front, just a couple bike lengths back to Hakim Danish, but not a whole lot of change then in the order. Joel Esteban has gotten ahead of Veda Pratama. Jesus Rios is starting to cut through the pack as well. Pratama lost a couple of places around the first sector there. Now, will we see Salmela make a move here at any opportunity? He might get a chance coming out on the run of turn 10. But it is Uriarte who's looking calm and composed out front, as he has for much of the 2025 campaign. Salmela really is going to need to come up with some absolute magic to get the better of Uriarte, the number 51.
Absolutely, but for the time being, if he can match the pace of Uriarte, then that's enough. He's still got plenty of time to find and bide his time and make his move when he feels that the opportunity is there. There's no point in rushing it. There's no point in making a mistake. He's got to maintain the pressure on Uriarte for the time being. He's got to keep on his back wheel and then make the move when the time is right.
Absolutely. Now you see Uriarte is beginning to open up a little bit of a gap here. He's got about 5-6 bike lengths, you'd say, back to Rico Salmela, and this is the run towards the line, the long back straight with the sweeping left-hander. And Uriarte has got that to perfection, you would have to say. And it looks like he's got what? He's got half a second about over Salmela, and they're coming over the line to knock off another lap here in the Junior GP World Championship. Coming live from Aragon.
It was Jesus Rios there who had the fastest lap at 1:57.298. That's faster than all the other riders around him at the front, so we'll see whether he's able to use that pace and really get back into this podium battle. There he is, confirmation of that fastest lap there, absolutely sensational. New best race lap And it looks like that gap that Uriarte had started to build is coming down quite significantly.
Here we go then, Casey O'Gorman up the inside of Hakim Danish. Didn't quite have the space to make it work, the number 67 on the number 13, but you are right, Connor. You can see it with the naked eye, and the timing screens offer confirmation. A 0.137 seconds between Salmela and Uriarte, so Salmela has reeled in Uriarte over that opening sector and across the front straight. So Jesus Rios has gotten himself back into third position ahead of Hakim Danish. It looks like it's fairly settled between number 1 and 2, but plenty of chopping and changing in that provisional P3 spot. Jesus Rios has fought his way back up towards P3, looking to reel in the guys ahead of him. But Casey O'Gorman, Casey O'Gorman in front of the iconic Aragon wall takes P4 off the hands of Hakim Danish, and more problems coming the way of the Malaysian rider. Veda Pertama goes through, and now Joel Esteban goes through. Oh, a terrible couple of corners for Hakim Danish. He was riding in P3 just a couple sectors ago, and now he's down into 7th position. That is the standard that is on offer here in Junior GP. If you open the door, somebody will go through it, and in this case, 4 riders went through it.
Yeah, that was absolutely wonderful from Casey O'Gorman and Joel Esteban there, who really took advantage of that open door, as you so poetically mentioned. It was wonderful from Esteban, and it's Jesus Rios as well, whose pace early on has really dragged all of these riders back into what looks like it's going to be a fantastic battle for the podium, with Salmela managing to keep on the back of Brian Uriarte. That gap between Salmela and Rios now at just under 0.4 seconds. So this is going to get more and more exciting as the racing continues.
Yeah, Jesus Rios reels off another fastest lap of 1:57.2 this time around. So Rios has got some serious pace to burn here under the Spanish sun, and it is now a lead trio. Rios is closing that gap and closing it fast. He had just over 2/10 of a second on Uriarte last time round, and Uriarte has gone wide. He's gone very, very wide, and that opens the door for Rico Salmela, who gladly takes P1 off the hands of the championship leader. And now Uriarte will be looking to bounce back here, but he may have a couple more problems coming from behind him. Jesus Rios, the fastest rider on circuit, he must be anxious to make a move past Uriarte and add to the misery of this lap for the 51. And here he comes. The number 54 goes through on Uriarte. So race on, Connor.
Absolutely race on. That's the pace that Rios has been showing throughout, and now both Rios and Salmela ahead of Brian Uriarte. We were saying before that Salmela had to bide his time and wait for the right opportunity to make his move. Well, it was put on a plate for him by Brian Uriarte, and now it's Salmela, the Finn, the Iceman, who leads. Will he be able to keep his cool as we continue racing here in Motorland Aragon? Well, look at Uriarte there. He's already back through on the inside of Jesus Rios, who manages to cut back so sensationally. This is really chopping and changing. This is racing in Junior GP.
Yeah, all this chopping and changing has made a lead trio, a group of 9, I think it is, all the way back to Marco Morelli. So, or even to Veda Pertama. So a group of 8 now vying for the coveted podium positions. But it is Rico Salmela out front. And Salmela, we know, is a rider of extraordinary quality in the Junior GP class. A race winner in Estoril on a couple of occasions. The young Finn, really metronomic when he gets out front. And Uriarte's got more problems. Casey O'Gorman has fired his way past him through turn 5. Uriarte looking to respond, gets the outside line, but Casey O'Gorman forces himself on the inside, and now Joel Esteban. Oh, Uriarte. What is going on here? Joel Esteban fires it through. So Casey O'Gorman initially went through, and now Hakim Danish fancies a chance at this as Uriarte looks to fight back on Esteban. He manages to fight back on Esteban. Hakim Danish looking to make a move past either Uriarte or Esteban. Doesn't make it stick, but you'd imagine a move is going to come from Joel Esteban once again. Back out front, Rios looks to close up on Rico Salmela as Casey O'Gorman attaches onto the rear tyre of the FI Network XTI Racing Team rider.
Yeah, the two Australia Galicia riders here at the front doing sensationally well. Salmela is just keeping his cool. He's ahead of the chaos behind, that chopping, that changing. And O'Gorman there just looked to put on a spurt of pace to be able to catch up with these leading two.
Yeah, brilliant racing here from the opening Junior GP event in Aragon, living up to the billing as we hoped it would. Rico Salmela and Casey O'Gorman of Estrella Galicia sitting in the podium positions. Is it a 1-2? Casey O'Gorman has moved through, and Brian Uriarte, though, he's going to have something to say about it. He goes from 4th to 2nd, but for how long? O'Gorman gets him on the cutback around turn 17. Brilliant stuff from the young Irish rider. Brilliant stuff from Uriarte as well, and brilliant stuff all around the field from the Junior GP category. Hugely entertaining race here. It's Salmela out front, but for how long will Casey O'Gorman stay in the podium positions? Not long at all. Brian Uriarte moves into 2nd with Jesus Rios now riding in 3rd position, but O'Gorman fights back ahead of Rios. So all chopping and changing here, and this is playing right into the hands of the flying Finn, Rico Salmela. His advantage out to half a second coming through the 2nd sector here of Motorland Aragon. Uriarte, though, is the rider looking to chase him down. He's got Casey O'Gorman looking for a little move up the inside of turn 6. Nothing going this time. But Joel Esteban then sitting in 4th position ahead of Jesus Rios, with Veda Pertama, Leonardo Zani and Hakim Danish making up your top 8.
This battle between Uriarte and O'Gorman is absolutely incredible. Some of the overtakes that we're seeing, it's almost as if they're getting out a compass and a protractor to make their way past each other. Just look at the battle between these two. And there's Rios there just behind. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, 3 abreast there almost. Uriarte flying through the middle of Casey O'Gorman and Jesus Rios to push himself back into 2nd position. So as it stands, it's Rico Salmela holding an advantage of about 0.2 of a second over Brian Uriarte. Brian Uriarte has much less time of an advantage in his pocket over Casey O'Gorman. Casey O'Gorman almost like a mosquito on Brian Uriarte, just buzzing around him and waiting for an opportunity to strike. But that's your 1-2-3. Joel Esteban, the number 78, your race winner from Magny Corps, just sitting in 4th position, and again probably just waiting for his time to strike, because there is a lot of chopping and changing and there is a long way to go in this race as we see Veda Pertama run it wide. So from 5th to 8th position goes Pertama as he runs it wide there around the final corner. Now Uriarte is running in 2nd position. Will he be in 2nd position by the time they enter into turn 1? It looks like he will be. It looked like O'Gorman might get into the slipstream of the championship leader, but nothing going for him that time around. Here we see the battle further back, led by the number 37 rather, Marianos Nicholas of the AGR team in the battle for 12th. You mentioned it earlier as well, just David Gonzalez, the number 11, is now running in 11. He had a back of the grid penalty, so superb ride from David Gonzalez. He's just ahead of these riders here. Marianos Nicholas leading this battle, but not for long, as Leo Ramostorfer makes his way through. Oh, we've got a rider down, and it's one of the Fee Network riders. It's Jesus Rios with the yellow helmet.
He'll be so frustrated. He'd been putting in such an incredible performance.
And hopefully he is okay.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a painful one there as he just gets to his feet. Hopefully he's just winded as Jesus Rios goes down, and he was in real podium contention there. His pride will be hurt, hopefully more than anything else, as he goes down after participating in what have been a sensational battle at the front of this race. We can just take another look at it. That was a heavy hit, yeah.
No wonder he needed a moment to get back on his feet, because that is a heavy crash for Jesus Rios. As you said, hopefully he's just winded, which would be no surprise, having high-sided coming through turn 5. But disappointment for Rios. We mentioned earlier he needs to find a little bit of consistency, because we know he has the talent, a 3-time race winner, a podium finisher already in 2025, but his season has been inconsistent with DNFs or podiums. So it's just not been going his way in 2025. So thankfully he's up on his feet. Looks a little bit shaken, but seems okay. But back on track then. There has been a change for the lead, and it's Casey O'Gorman over Rico Salmela. The Team Estrella Galicia 0-0 boys leading here. But now down the front straight we go. Is there going to be a change of the lead? The 67 over 27. Joel Esteban trying to hang it on the outside. Brian Uriarte, he's got the inside line in P3. but it's going to be Esteban who gets it coming out of turn 2. But no change in the lead. Casey O'Gorman, we saw him lead in Magny Core. We've seen him in the lead of Junior GP races before, but he has never gotten that win. He got a podium, P2 last time out, so maybe he's in the form of his life and fancies victory here in Aragon.
Yeah, absolutely. 5.5 laps for these two to do battle at the front. Absolutely sensational ride from O'Gorman, you have to say. He's been absolutely wonderful from start, right from the start so far. And he'll just look to try and hold off his teammate Rico Salmela for the time being. They are both opening up a gap with Uriarte. So if they can maintain that, which looks visibly like it's not going to be the case as they come down this reverse corkscrew, such a technical point of the track. So for the time being, O'Gorman and Salmela in the lead. But for how long, with Uriarte narrowing the gap between them?
Yeah, absolutely superb stuff here from the Estrella Galicia riders and indeed all the riders inside this top 7. It's Joel Esteban remains in 4th position, not for long, because Leonardo Zani has just fired it up the inside of Esteban. Brilliant stuff from the 57. The 57, of course, Leonardo Zani, we have seen lead races. We've seen him in the podium positions quite regularly. We've seen him at the front of every race so far in 2025, but the Italian has yet to get that breakthrough win. His run of results is P4 in Estoril, P4 in Jerez Race 1, P4 in Jerez Race 2, before a DNF in Magny Core while he was running, guess?
P4. Where is he right now?
P4. So Leonardo Zani, can he break the P4 streak? It's only time will tell, but he's got the small matter of Brian Uriarte and Joel Esteban on either side of him. So if Zani wants that podium, he's definitely going to have to earn it against some of the top riders in this category.
Yeah, he is. And just while we were talking about Zani, Salmela's overtaken O'Gorman and is now into the lead. The Iceman once again hitting the front. He's going to have to try and absorb all the pressure that's building behind him with this leading pack, and especially his teammate O'Gorman.
Absolutely, we have some yellow flags out as well in sector 4 at turn 15. It's Dodo Baggio who has gone down, so another DNF for the other Estrella Galicia 00 rider, Dodo, a rookie in the class and a hugely talented rider in the ETC, a race winner in the European Talent Cup. Has graduated to the Junior GP category this year, but hasn't been the most seamless of transitions, unfortunately, for the Italian, and that is not going to help things. That's another big crash coming through turn 15.
Yeah, excellent response there from the marshal as well, just throwing himself over and onto the track just to help out and make sure everything is okay. Zani into P3.
Here we go, Leonardo Zani into P3, but Brian Uriarte, Hakim Danish, Joel Esteban, Veda Pratama all on his tail. Although he has opened up a little bit of a gap so far, you'd have to question how long that gap will last. But if there's chopping and changing like there is now behind him, it could open up even further as Hakim Danish goes through on Brian Uriarte. Well, Connor, before the race we asked, could anyone beat Brian Uriarte in a straight battle in Junior GP? It looks like we have an answer.
It does. And I think that we mentioned as well that this is one of the circuits where it felt like something was possible for all the other riders. It's not one of the circuits where Uriarte has excelled by his own very high standards, and the other riders are taking advantage of that. Rico Salmela, of course, who needs to be doing it more than anyone else as he pursues him so closely, just 13 points behind them, between them in the Junior GP World Championship standings.
Yeah, just watching the battle a little further back, Giulio Pugliese, the number 31, Beñat Fernandez, the number 7, battling for 11th position. Some big points up on offer here, but it's a large group, so not everyone on screen will be scoring points here today. Remember, of course, the top 15 are your point scorers. Anyone outside that, unfortunately, blanks on the championship standings.
David Gonzalez there, sorry just to interrupt, David Gonzalez now up into P8, starting from P28. So that's an absolutely incredible 20 positions that he's managed to climb through. And he's now just behind Veda Pratama, who's P7. So that's this leading group.
Yeah, absolutely superb ride from Gonzalez. We often laud him because we do call him Speedy Gonzalez ourselves because he's got incredible pace. When he gets going, he's incredibly fast. We've seen it in the European Talent Cup, and that has translated in 2025 to the Junior GP category. And the AC Racing Team rider started towards the back of the grid. He's up into 8th position. He does have, I think, about 2 seconds
Yeah,
to make
it's a
up
significant gap.
on Veda Pratama. So with 4 laps to go, it seems maybe a step too far, but a brilliant performance nonetheless from the young Spaniard.
Absolutely. He'll have been thinking going into this race, I know how talented I am. I know I can get through this field. I want to get into the points. And he's managed to do that. And possibly is as high as he's going to be able to finish given the circumstances of the race and the pace that this leading group is setting. We've seen Rico Salmela moving into the lead. And you can just see there in yellow, David Gonzalez. And the work he's done is absolutely incredible. Here we are watching the front of the race as well. Leonardo Zanni right behind the 2 Estrella Galicia 00 riders. He's just gone a bit wide there, but he's still managed to keep the pace there and on the straight. Can he get ahead and move into P2?
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Zanni, and you can see they have gapped Hakim Danish, Joel Esteban, Brian Uriarte and Veda Pratama, who are outside the podium position. So a lead trio led by Salmela. Salmela has done plenty of the front running in this race. The Iceman, as Connor calls him, the Flying Finn, is looking good for another win here in the Junior GP category. Or is he? Because Casey O'Gorman is desperate for that breakthrough victory and to stand on the top step of a Junior GP podium for the first time. Leonardo Zanni, he's very much in the victory conversation as well. He's yes to podium in 2025, but it looks he's looking good here. So will your winner come from these 3 riders? They have opened up a gap of nearly a second, I think, if do my eyes deceive me. Quite a gap to Hakim Danish.
Yeah.
There's certainly a few bike lengths between them, but the pace of these 3 riders is outstanding with just, what, 2.5 laps remaining. So let's see how things will shake up. Coming around the final couple of sectors here, we enter through sector 3 in front of the iconic wall, and things will shake up. Rico Salmela, the Iceman, has broke. He has gone wide, and that hands the lead to Casey O'Gorman, and Leonardo Zanni is now running in 2nd position. Rico Salmela is running in 3rd, but he's back just in front of Hakim Danish. So will Salmela have the pace to catch up with the front 2? And if he does have the pace, will it bring the other riders up with him and make it a 4, 5, 6-way battle for the victory? It all remains to be seen. You can see Brian Uriarte is way off the pace. What has happened to the championship leader? But let's focus on Casey O'Gorman and Leonardo Zanni. Has Zanni got anything up his sleeve to challenge Casey O'Gorman out front? Can the Italian show a front wheel to the number 67 as we go over the start-finish line once again? Nothing coming in turn 1, it looks, but the rest of the riders have caught up, and now this 2-way fight looks like it might be a 5 or 6-way fight over the last lap and a half, Connor.
Yeah, Junior GP delivering drama from start to finish. It looked like Hakim Danish was really going to take advantage of that error from Rico Salmela there, but he hasn't managed to just keep the pace with the Finn, who is now catching up very quickly to Leonardo Zanni. This is, as you said, looking like it's going to turn into a 5-rider battle for the podium.
Yeah, Leonardo Zanni, it looked like he might have the opportunity to shoot up the inside of O'Gorman there, going through the right-hander at turn 6, but O'Gorman doing brilliantly so far to hold on to the lead and fend off any challenge. So through the reverse corkscrew we go. Downhill, very technical part of the track, but it seems to be navigated brilliantly by all the riders in that lead group. David Gonzalez is worth mentioning because we have mentioned him a few times. He's just 1 place behind Brian Uriarte, and he looks quite close to Uriarte too. So Zanni, has he got a chance for the lead here? He does indeed. He does indeed. Going into turn 12, he makes a move stick. Casey O'Gorman now relegated back to 2nd position with Rico Salmela in 3rd. Hakim Danish, Joel Esteban then making out the top 5. But Zanni leads. Is he going to break his podium duck in Junior GP, and will he break it with a victory?
He may well do, but just that there came from Gonzalez, as you mentioned, looking very, very close to Uriarte. He's now overtaken Brian Uriarte. Brian Uriarte has fallen 7 positions from his pole position, and conversely, David Gonzalez is up 21 But meanwhile, at the front, as the battle continues, it's Leonardo Zanni who's leading, and the two Estrella Galicia riders, Casey O'Gorman and Rico Salmela, oh so close behind as we go on to the start-finish straight.
Hakim Danish running it wide there. Has that cost him a podium opportunity as we go on to the last lap here? Race 1, Junior GP in Aragon. Leonardo Zanni leads. This is going to be a real test of the Italian's mettle. The number 57 has never been on a Junior GP podium. He could be about to win a race in Junior GP, but he's got Casey O'Gorman and Rico Salmela hot on his heels. Rico Salmela, a race winner in the class already. Casey O'Gorman, a podium finisher, but has never won. All three of them are desperate to win here, particularly the Estrella Galicia 0-0 riders. But it is Zanni who is building up an sizable advantage, you would have to say, through the first sector, entering into the second sector on this final lap, Connor.
Yeah, but anything can happen here. And the two Estrella Galicia riders have shown their pace throughout. They just need to be very quick through this sector 2 now. Very technical point here, going down the reverse corkscrew. And they've still got 2 more sectors to try and get faster and really catch up and narrow this gap, but it's looking like it's growing and growing. Leonardo Zanni growing in confidence as well.
He wants to hammer home the advantage, doesn't he? He wants to win this in style. Now there's a change for P2. Casey O'Gorman has lost it to Rico Salmela. Rico Salmela went wide here last time round. He's lost P2. He tried it for P2 there, didn't get the drive out of the corner, and Casey O'Gorman got him on the cutback. But it looks like this chopping and changing is not doing them any favours in the victory fight. Round the back straight we go. So Leonardo Zanni's got about a half a second, even larger advantage now, you would have to say, after that. It looks like Zanni is going to win this one, barring any errors around the back straight and the final couple left-handers. This is Zanni's race. Can Hakim Danish bring a late surprise here and bag a podium ahead of one of the Estrella Galicia 0-0s, or will it be Casey O'Gorman and Rico Salmela taking P2 and P3? Let's see how it changes. Round the line, Leonardo Zanni is a Junior GP race winner with Casey O'Gorman and Rico Salmela on the podium. Brilliant stuff from the young Italian. We said he had a bit of a luckless run. P4